Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Last race for me for week 9 here in the B Big Series at Richmond. Going out for qualifying. Gonna try to put in time that's somewhat respectable in this field. Somewhat of a decent field. There's a Coke Series driver in here as well as a couple other decent guys, and I am just absolutely terrible in this car. So it's gonna be just survival of the fittest for me. I feel like it's kind of the equivalent of how I am at super late models.
22.32.
What these guys are turning is their back of the pack laps I'm so far off of. Let's see what we can do.
P8.
8th right now, overdrove turn 1 there. Doubt this lap's going to be any faster with that mistake. Try to get a little bit of a run down the back stretch, get into turn 3. Overshoot turn 3 as well. Slid the tires, so we're going to have to settle with that time. Like I said, I'm so bad here at Richmond in this car. I wasn't
You're currently
terrible in truck, not great, but this one I'm even worse. We are starting on the outside, which is going to be fun. We were almost 4/10 off the pole sitter, although he was a tenth and a half faster than the 13. So good job for the 13 for putting himself up there. We're basically right in the middle, 21 cars, car number 11. So qualified a little bit ahead of it. About half of all the people that qualified. So I guess, you know, assuming some of the people that didn't qualify get biased, and we're probably about right where we need to be. Top 10 is going to be a good finish. If I can somehow find some longer run pace and we can go caution free, do all 60 laps green, maybe I can get to a top 5. Just going to try to not overdrive it, save the right front as much as possible. I did make just a couple changes to the setup. I literally just went up 1 on the steering offset to +7 and moved the brake bias back 2% to 63 from 65. So we'll get paints refreshed and then get in the car. Kind of, you know, wanted to focus more on short tracks this week and have a little bit more fun with those. Some of them obviously did not go the way that I necessarily wanted them to go, but it was something I thought would be enjoyable for me to do. So this one, though, when I saw this being on Richmond, you know, effectively being a short track, I thought it was a good idea to jump in and do. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe, I don't know, end up regretting the decision, or it could end up going decent. We'll see. But we'll jump in the car, get ready to go. Pull up session best lap. We have the standard 2 sets of tires in the pits should we need them. So it'll just all depend on if we get cautions at all. I'm kind of hoping we can go green most of the way. I could end up torching the right front because of my terrible driving, and you know, end up falling way back if we were to go green. But I think it'd be fun to run a full 60 laps green and see what happens. Who comes towards the front, who goes back. If we can, you know, pick up spots from anybody around us. Be interesting with car up ahead blinking. We'll see how that goes. Starting on the outsides, not really ideal, but seems to be my norm now on short tracks. Just going to need to work the outside, try to find a hole. Maybe we'll get a better start and try to slot in front of the 15. You know, if I can find a slot from behind, I may just jump on the brakes and fall in line. But we'll see what we can do. Now the 3-door inside, I'm sure he's going to be pretty quick. Guessing 2 and the 3 probably just had worse qualifying efforts than they want. They'll probably be moving towards the front. I would imagine the 1's going to be gone. Uncheck fuel. Yeah, it's a little bit of a different driving line. I'm finding as I practiced that I was definitely entering way too late into both corners, and typically it was overshooting both corners as well. So, gonna try to correct that, try to stay low, but I think as the tires start to wear, you're gonna see guys kind of go for a little bit more of a later apex as well. You're kind of seeing that in trucks. I'm guessing we'll see that in this as well. So we'll do what we can. Blinking to the 6 is going to be something to pay attention to. Seems like I might be lagging a little bit. I don't think it's affecting anything yet, but we'll have to see. And we'll just try to do what we can. Get ready to go here. Fix the radio so I can hear everybody.
Jake, stay calm, focus.
1's going to be off.
Floor it, green, green, green.
Alright, so scratch the idea of slotting in ahead of the 15.
Far inside.
I got a terrible start. He gets a much better start, so we're just going to have to work the outside here.
Still there.
Turn 2 is going to get really narrow. We're going to see what we can do. Alright, 15 is going to get in front of us, so I'm going to see if I can just drop in behind him. Ball back to 9th, that's fine. Kind of slid just in front of the 14. 5 gets loose, 6 gets into the wall. 6 is right in the wall. Check up a little bit more than I thought, so need to back the braking point up, and we get a caution out the back. So much for that long green flag run. I think this is like carbon copy to what happened in the trucks. Pretty sure we got a caution on lap 1 or lap 2. At least we'll be starting on the inside. Trying to get clean race in as well, get back to the 0X's, and
single file behind Brown.
find a way to finally start getting the safety rating back in the right direction. I've been, you know, absolutely terrible with some of the incidents. I mean, half of them have not been my fault, but other ones have definitely been stupid driving on my part, so it'd be nice to get back to some smart driving again. What I know I'm capable of, not what I've been doing lately. Not been driving to my potential in terms of clean driving. Pace might not be off from where I'm supposed to be, but clean driving definitely has not been there, so. Early on though, looks like a couple drivers coming into pits. I imagine there's some repairs going on. Looks like some guys that were in the back. We'll check that out afterwards, see what happened. 6 is still blinking. It'll definitely be annoying if we end up working side by side with them at any point. Definitely gotta understand that everybody's got the braking points maybe backed up a little bit from what I was running in qualifying, so make that adjustment as well.
Pits are open.
Get in the back of somebody going into turn 1 especially. I feel like if I could, you know, master this and be able to keep on pace with the front of the pack, that this is definitely a track where the driving skills will translate to a lot of different series well. I think, you know, with how you get into the line, I mean, maybe it's a little bit of a shallower entry to start, a little less arc, but the driving line, how you get on the brake, the little bit of rolling off the brake and off the throttle through the center, and picking it back up, being smooth on it to drive a straight line, not spin the rear tires, not slide the car at all. I think that translates to a lot of different series, short track and NASCAR. So this is something that hopefully over the course of the race I can improve, keep working on that. I know what I need to do, I just can't get myself to do that yet. So definitely be something to work at. Restarting behind the 6 again. Lined up on the inside this time though. 14 almost gets into the back of us. Let's see what we can do. We try to get a better restart this time. Just yeah, hopefully we can get some green flag laps in. Get ready to go. Lay back just because of the blinking with the 6. Not gonna like way back to get a run. I just don't want to be right on his back bumper and have blinking happen.
Green, let's go.
Really slow restart. That guy spinning to the inside. 6 got into somebody. Not sure how we don't get a caution for that, but that was a really bad start ahead of us. Really glad I didn't go right away. Got the 8 to our outside. Try to stay off of them into 3. You're in 3 wide, which is never a good call. Keep it in the middle of the track. Alright, clear the 8. I think we're up to 7th.
22.83. P7. Good lap. That's your quickest today.
Take picking up a couple spots off that start. We're getting a little bit of a gap with the 20 kite and holding everybody up. I feel like this is kind of like an Iowa in a sense. I know Iowa was built to mirror this and be on a smaller scale, or
coming up on here. The guy
a
behind
little
us.
bit bigger scale actually, so trying to remember what I learned in Xfinity, translate it over to this. Just overshooting the entries. 20's going to try to get to our inside. Hopefully get the run out of the corner. Losing so much time to everybody up front. Wow, terrible entries. I'm just way too hard on the brakes. Be a little bit easier, a little bit sooner. Roll the entries a little bit more.
That's your quickest lap in this session.
Pretty bad that that's my fastest lap so far. Almost get it into the wall. Looks like the 20 did get into the wall. Quite a bit back. Just going to try to recover. 0.6 up on the 20. 0.8 back of the 6. Looks like we're starting to pull away from the 20 and the 8. I think the 20 might be holding everybody up. I think we're slowly gaining on the 6.
P7.
I'd take finishing 7th right now, but want to dig for more. We're still very early on. Looks like the 8 is working by the 20. So we'll see if that gap closes down. 6 is going to go for pass on the inside of the 15.
22.86.
Kind of overshot turn 1 there. Wish I could have been close enough to try to take advantage of the 6 getting to the inside of the 15. 15's able to slot back behind him. So the 6 up to 5th. Catching up to the 15. Keeping about even with the 8 now. Still feel like I'm overdriving the entries a little bit, but kind of keeping pace with everybody right now, so can't be too upset given how bad I expected to do. Tire wears definitely starting to happen a little bit. Lap times have fallen off a bit.
That was a 23.05.
15's kind of falling off the back of the 6 and the 3. So if I continue to stay even with the 15, that means I'm just losing time to them as well. Pulling away from the 8 though. Hopefully that's not me overdriving tires and him tire saving a lot. 20's fallen back to 10th. 14's gotten by the 20. I feel like I'm driving turn 3 worse than I'm driving turn 1. Everybody up ahead's about 4/10 apart. So keep an eye on that. Make sure I'm not losing too much time to them. It looks like I'm losing quite a bit of time to the 3. Yeah, we're keeping even with the 15, but losing to 6 and the 3 right now. 6 is going for a bit of a higher line already. Gotta work the throttle a little bit smoother off of turn 2 there. Trying to adjust my line. Take a little bit of a later entry. Quite as late as what the 15's doing. Two's working his way up through the field. I think he was one of the cars that had the issue on the restart. Way too wide there out of turn 4. So hopefully he'll stall out by the time he gets to the 4 or the 8. So we got almost a 2-second advantage over the 8, which is nice right now.
Okay, Jake, the next car is brown. That lap time was 23.40.
Looks like the 6 is starting to catch the 3. 3's not pulling away from us quite as fast.
Track temperature's rising. It's now 86 Fahrenheit.
Catching up to the 15 a little bit. Just trying to straighten off the exit out of 2. Bit by bit, getting closer to the 15. Looking like we're probably a 7th or 8th fastest car on the track. Really bad exit there out of 2. 15 got a little bit of a worse exit though. Wow, closed up to a lot more than I thought there. Clip the apron, get a little loose. Try to work to his inside, but I'd rather do it on an exit than going into a corner. So pulls away a little bit from us.
The lap time was
2 seconds ahead of the 8
23.71.
still, so plenty of time. Try to set up a clean pass. Get too loose there off of turn 2. 2's falling back a little bit. It's back to the 14 and the 10, or it's 14 and the 20, 9th and 10th. Getting a good green flag run here, though.
23.54.
Although I'm sure as I say that, we're going to get a caution soon. Getting close to the halfway mark, though. 15 starting to pull back away.
That lap was at 23.61.
Just need to get back to rolling the center of the corners a little bit. That'll help me get off the corners a little bit more. Just gotta be patient. We'll get back to the 15. Don't think a top 5 is gonna happen, but I was gonna be okay with something like this. Still keeping even with the 8,
that's
so
half distance. Fuel levels are fine.
it's not bad. Halfway down, 30 to go. Really bad 1. Better run down the front stretch.
You've just done a 23.59.
I don't know if he just overshot the corner, if we did actually chase him up, but try to work to his inside now. He gets the run down the back stretch. Try to take the inside line away here.
He's still there.
It'll be a drag race down the front stretch. He'll probably have a bit of advantage. I gotta wait to get in the throttle. Alright, clear him. I think he kind of realized we were faster and
P6.
let us go. But I'll take putting us into 6 now. Don't know if we got any shot to go after the 3 and the 6, but we're gonna try. 2.5 seconds up. But I'm a lot closer to the top 5 than I expected to be, especially since we've been green this whole time. Since the restart. Might experiment with moving the brake bias back. Back about 1% on it or so. Try to help roll it into the corners a little bit better. Big line of cars up ahead. It's like the 13's starting to fall back. He might have burned up tires. We're still 2.5 back of the 6. See if they get into any kind of racing. Keep an eye on the 13 if we're closing up to them or not. I mean, it's going to take a lot of a difference to get to them with 24 to go this time by.
Behind is now 0.69.
Not really needing to worry about the 15. We're pulling away from him. It's 3.2 at the line, so I think we're kind of keeping even with everybody up front, maybe losing a tenth or so. Wish I was a part of that battle up there, just not fast enough. Just not quite fast enough. Looks like we're probably about the same pace as the 13 right now.
Sixth place. The car in front of us is now Gaia.
Loose there down the front stretch. Overshot turn 1, way too late of an entry. Looks like a good battle up ahead as the 3 and the 13 are going to go side by side. 13 looking like he burned up tires a little bit compared to the 3 and the 6. The longer they battle side by side, the closer I can come. And whether or not I can actually get there is a whole other thing. Especially with only 20 laps to go, but we'll see what we can do. The brake bias back 2% just to help the entry since I torched the right front so bad. 13's now back to battle for 4th and 5th with the 6. 3's gotten himself up to 3rd. Race leader's absolutely gone. The 15's doing a decent job hanging with us. He's about a second and a half, or half a second back. 8's about 2.5 back. 14's still in 9th. But he kind of maintaining
Right, Jake,
status quo. Overshoot turn 1 again. Way loose there off of turn 2. 17's gonna be a slow car up ahead. Try to see if we can catch the 13. I don't think I have the pace to do it. 17 to go. He's 2.3 ahead.
You've just done a 23.
But I'm gonna do what I can. Do my last ditch effort at the top 5. I think now that he's gotten the 3 and the 6 around him, he can focus on a normal race line and be faster than us.
That lap was a 23.77.
And we'll still have to get by the 17 as well. So we'll lose some time there once that happens. A little bit of a slide there.
That last lap was a 23.75.
Yeah, I feel like we're just a 6th place car, unfortunately. So close to a top 5, yet so far away. But I guess compared to being expected to finish 11th, 6 is not a bad finish, especially on a track that I feel terrible at.
Your last lap time was a 23.88.
Plenty to learn from, plenty to go after. Shoot turn 3 there. $13 to go.
That was 23.80.
Trying to figure out how to get around the 17. He goes high this time in the 1.
You've just done a 23.87.
He does, thank you to him.
Coming up on your left sideline's clear.
Alright, able to clear him without too much of an impact. Lost a little bit to the 16, or the 13, but no big deal.
That last lap was a 24.00.
Bit of a worst entry in the 1 that I wanted. Not quite as bad as some of them, but not great. Really loose there out of turn 2. Kill the momentum. 10 to go this time by.
The gap to Brown behind is now 0.79.
Gap to the 15's opened up just a little bit.
You've just done a 23.87.
A little bit of an early entry that time in the 1, so it's going to pinch the momentum off. Trying to work the throttle a little bit smoother off the corner. Keep the car going a little bit straighter. Keep the momentum up. 15 gets really loose behind us on the front stretch. It's going to give us another 10th or so over them. Kind of did the same thing there on the back stretch though, just got on the throttle a little bit too much.
That was a 23.88.
So we got some people up here running better than what they're expected to. 6 is in 4th, 13's in 5th. And in 6th, 15th is in 7th. Really loose there on the front stretch. 6 to go, working lap 55. Wish this would have been a little more exciting for you guys. 13's going to try to make a run back at the 6 on the inside out of 4. Just kind of in this weird middle spot. Not quite good enough to get up there to challenge, but good enough to stay ahead of some of the people behind.
That's good consistency. Keep it up.
This is definitely the opposite of how the truck race was. That was far, far more aggressive. And we had a couple cautions to kind of bunch things up, but that was way more aggressive than this ever has been. Or would be the next lap car. I don't think we'll get to him since we're only going to have 3 to go. We'll have to see. Looks like the 13 got back around to 6, so 6 falls back to 5th, 13 back up to 4th. We got almost a 2-second advantage now over the 15. And we're technically catching the 6, but with 2 laps to go, we're going to need him basically spinning out or really getting into the wall or something. I guess maybe this would have been like, you know, a 100 lap race or something like that. we'd have a little more of a chance. Although, as I say that, I really pushed hard on the exit out of 4 there.
The next car is Dyer. White flag. One more to go. That lap time was
On the last lap, just got to keep it clean. And we'll finish pretty decent. Like I said, 1 spot out of the top 5. Being car number 11, I have to take that. Nice to have a clean race. 1 caution early on, but we basically got to run the whole race under green. A lot of fun.
P6. That's the finish. Well done.
It's like that. We did good to battle by the 15. Was able to weather, getting away from the 8 and all that. 5 finished the 2nd. Third went to the 3. 1 gets the win. 20 looked like he had some issues.
Nice win there.
So let's take a look at the tires first. See how bad I torched them. 80, 86. I mean, they're getting better. They're still not, as close as I would like. I'm still wearing out the right front a bit too much compared to the right rear. But I know, let's say maybe 3 months or 4 months ago, I would have been like 65, 75 or 65, 80 or something like that. Like I would have worn the right sides out even more than I did. So it's progress in the right direction. Not where it's going to be, but until I'm winning every single race, it's never going to be where I want it to be. Let's take a look at, doesn't look like there's too many incidents overall, so we'll take a look at the start and see what happened to bring out the caution. So I did not get a very good start. I got jumped pretty bad, so that's what allowed the 15 to pull even with us, and I was really trying to do the best to run clean on the outside, not get into him or get into the wall, and then as soon as he got the run off at 2, that's when I thought it was just better to slot in front of the 14. I kind of checked up hard to follow behind the 15, probably didn't need to check up as hard as I thought, and that's what got the 14 inside. And it looks like the caution's actually going to come out just behind that. Let's see, so you got the 8 to the inside, so he's going to drive it in. It kind of stacks up on the outside. So I thought I saw the 8 get loose. 14 gets into the wall. Alright, so there's your caution right there with the 7. We heard the 7 talking on the radio, so let's take a look at that. Because you got the 7 and the 17 are going to run side by side. That's so hard. So the 5 was at a 76.86, so I guess I wasn't as terrible. I don't know. I guess I can't 81.85. I just, like I said, I can either tire save and not have the pace, or I can have the pace and not tire save. So let's go forward a little bit. 7's running right around that seam. Starts to turn in. I think he expected the 17 to maybe turn in a little bit sooner. And he just ends up getting the right front of the 17. They said netcode on the radio. I can kind of make an argument for that. There might have been a bit of a gap, but it sends the 17 to the inside wall. 7 goes sliding in front of the 10. 10 gets a little bit of the 7, but then the 17 hits the inside wall, comes back up the track. That gets him. That's how the 20 gets involved. 9 piles into it. 16 piles into it. Looks like everybody else clears it okay. Yeah, that definitely that hurt a little bit. That's what brought out the first caution. So let's fast forward. Mine's just gonna spin it. I don't think he's too happy. Alright, so here's gonna be a restart that gets all weird. 3's getting ready to go. 4 kind of checks up. Alright, let's see what happened to the 4 here. I'll look at this from the 4's perspective. So 4's getting to the 13. 3 kind of comes up, bumps them a little bit. And then the 1 takes off. The 13 doesn't really go. The 5 really doesn't go. That's kind of what jams it up. And the 4 gets wrapped up with the 5. That gets him turned around. He gets right into the 2. And that sends the 2 and the 4 to the inside. The 2 gets going again. The 4 goes spinning off. So the 4 is the one that ends up getting... he's the one that gets the worst out of it. So yeah, that was the start that really checked up. And I was kind of glad I wasn't on top of the 6, so that way I could keep myself off of them. 20's gonna run on outside of the 8. Just loses the track, gets into the wall. 16's gonna get the wall out of the corner. Yep, out of 4. 14's gonna get the wall out of 4. That code. 1's... Is he actually gonna wall it? Barely agrees if he did. Might have honestly been netcode. That was definitely netcode. 19. Netcode or a very slight drag. 20 was trying to get the run on us. Got the wall. That was an actual hit. 6 gets loose. Netcode's the wall, maybe. 13. Barely touches the wall to start finish line. 17's can you get the wall out of 2? More netcode than anything. 18. A little bit of a scrape there. 13 again. Bad netcode there. 4's just in front of the 1. Gets the wall a little bit. 21. I think everybody's just pushing out of the corner. I mean, yeah, he was definitely... he hit that wall. 14 and the 20 both kind of get loose. A little bit of netcode contact between the two of them. 16 goes into a 4-wheel slide into 2. 20 again on the outside of the 14. Gets the wall just ahead of the 2. Causes the 2 to check up. 1 with the netcode. 6. A little bit of a drag there. We saw that one. It's 13. Netcode. Yeah. I think everything else is basically giving netcode shots, so. Alright, let's take a look at the results. Should be decent gains on both sides. Top split of 2, 29.68 strength of field. So again, like I said, it was a little bit weaker, but the top 4 or 5 drivers were all pretty decent. So able to gain a little bit of safety rating back, 0.18 to 3.22, and decent iRating gain. 51 is not bad. So over 3,000. See if we can finally make it stick. Fast lap wise, I was 0.3 off from the race winner, and basically 0.2 on average. So got to figure if we'd stayed green, I'd be even further back than the 13 seconds I was. That caution helped, bridge the average lap. Was definitely a little bit better than the tires. The 15 should have, by a fast lap, should have beat me, but I think I was just a little bit more efficient on the tires compared to him. I was not great on the tires. Actually, it was really terrible compared to what some of those guys were saying. It sounds like I wasn't driving it hard enough off the right rear to keep the heat in that and the grip and let the car drive off longer. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of times they were running the back end. I wasn't even running as fast. So, a lot of work to do. I felt like I was probably a 7th or 8th place car, and that's where we started and about where I was. Managed to outlast the 12 and the 8 and the 14 and the 20 off the restart, and just kind of drove a little bit more efficient. Was able to get by the 15. Just was never quite there to get to the 3, the 13, or the 6. It was just not quite good enough. But again, you look at what their ratings are, coming into it. I can't complain at all. You got the 1, 5, 3, 6 were all 4,000 plus drivers basically, or just around it. So to be able to even be in the same zip code as them, which I really wasn't, but that makes me pretty happy. So it's progress in the right direction. Is it where I want it to be? No, absolutely not. I'm nowhere near where I want it to be, but it's definitely steps in the right direction and better than it had been. So hate that I was kind of in a little bubble and couldn't give you guys a ton of side-by-side action, but nice to get one of these clean races in and try to get things righted. Hopefully turn the page, have a good week 10, and keep this progress going. So feel free to leave any driving tips, any analysis of what you would have done differently in terms of how to gauge the restarts, the braking points a little bit better. Again, your thoughts on trying to drive off the right rear a little bit more, how you do that without overdriving the car. That's always something I'm trying to learn a little bit better, how to dynamically balance it based on my throttle inputs and wear the tires a little bit differently over the course of a run. And hopefully you got something out of that. So till the next one, I hope all your laps are fast, your races are clean, and your finishes are good. Thanks for watching.